Hello everyone, can you all hear me? Okay, let me test the sound first. Okay, I think you all can hear me. Alright, so let me remove this and here. Alright, so let's start our class for today. Alright, so today we'll start from Form 4, Chapter 1, Functions. Alright, so every week I'll be having class over at Facebook or even YouTube. Okay, currently Facebook and YouTube we are live stream at the same time. Okay, so today we talk about Form 4 Chapter 1 Functions, and then next week maybe if let's say we finish these chapters, then we will continue Chapter 2. Alright, so please share this out to your friends. So the more you share, I will give more free class for the throughout the week. Alright, so let's take a look at this. So what is the relationship between two sets? Can be represented by, alright, so we have three: arrow diagram, order pair, or graph. So what is arrow diagram, what is order pair, and what is graph? So let me find out the pointer. Okay, so arrow diagram is something like this. So if here you have two sets, okay, set A, set B. Alright, so if this is, let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is, let's say 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8. So if I draw this way, this is what we call arrow diagram. Alright? So what about order pairs? Order pairs is something like this. So 1 to 2, isn't it? So always start from the left hand side, 1 to 2. So 1, 2, this is one order pair. 2, 4, another order pair. And then 3, 4, another order pair. The last one will be 4, 8. This is the order pair. And then what about graph? Graph will be something like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so this will be 8. Alright, and then 1, 2. So 1 is over here, 1, 2 at this point. Okay, and then 2, 4. 2 is over here, 4 is over here. So 2, 4. It is something like your coordinate geometry. Alright, and then this is not 3, 4, okay? This is 3, 6, my bad, okay? This is 3, 6. So this will be here. And then 4, 8. So this is what we call graph. Graph, arrow diagram, okay? Graph, arrow diagram, and order pair. So next, so what is the terms? Domain, codomain, object, image, and range. Alright, so let's use back the similar arrow diagram. So let's say I will say, this time I use ABC. A, B, C, and then this will be E, F, G, H. Alright, so this is set A, set B. So this is what we call domain. And another one we call it codomain. So what about object? Object is all those things that is inside the domain. This, we call it object, object, object. Excuse me. All right. How about image? Image is those that is inside the core domain. We call it image. E is image, F is image, G and H is image. All right. So what about range? Okay, take a look at this. If let's say A is mapped to E, B is mapped to F, C is mapped to G. All right. So E, F, G, H, they are all images for the core domain. But whereas for range only for E, F, G. Why E, F, G? Alright, because all this E, F, G image, they have an object in the domain. Okay, if let's say it does not have an object in a domain, it is not included in the range. Alright. So, type of relations. So there are 4 types of relations in functions. The first one, one-to-one relations. Second one, one-to-many. Second one is many-to-one. Then one-to-many, and then many-to-many. So which of these considers as functions? Alright. So one-to-one and many-to-one consider as functions. One-to-many, many-to-many does not consider as functions. So what about which of these relations has inverse functions? Okay, one of them has inverse functions. So it is only one-to-one. Only one-to-one has inverse functions. Alright, so you might ask, how do we determine whether the function is a one-to-one, many-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many? Alright, so we are using the vertical line and horizontal line to test it. Right? So for example, this is a graph. Okay? This is y-axis, this is x-axis. So how do we test? Right? We use the vertical line test. Vertical line test. When we use the vertical line test, if let's say this is a graph. Okay, let's say this is a graph and we use the vertical line test. Do you notice that in each and every of the vertical line, it only touches one point on the curve? Okay, it only touches one point. So this is a function. Okay, vertical line test is to test this one. Okay, if you have more than one point, meaning say that if something like this, y, x. If let's say this is your graph, your curve, all right, if you use vertical test, you have more than one point, okay, in every vertical line. So meaning say that this is not a function, not functions. All right. So then, if we can use vertical line test to test for whether the function is a function, I mean the graph whether it is a function. So how do we test whether it is one-to-one? Because only one-to-one has inverse functions. So for one-to-one, we are using horizontal line test. Alright, so this horizontal line test is you draw a horizontal line to see if there is more than one point at each horizontal line. If you have more than one point, then it do not have an inverse functions. Alright, so in order to determine whether the function is a one-to-one relations, right, you need to use both vertical and horizontal line tests. Okay, if they pass both of the tests, then you have inverse. Okay, whereas for functions, whether the equation is a function, then we use only vertical test. Okay, if it passes the vertical test, then it is a function, because when it passes the vertical test, it is either one-to-one relations or many-to-one relations. Alright? So what is function and what's mapping? So take a look at this. F(x) is equal to fx equals the arrow x squared minus 3x plus 5. So can be written as f bracket x equals to x squared minus 3x plus 5. Alright, so take a look at this example. Given that the function is this, find the image of 2. So what is the image of 2? Right, so if we draw it, this is x. This is x squared minus 3x plus 5. Alright, and then the function f. Alright, image is where? Image is here, isn't it? Alright, so meaning say that image of 2, it means f2 is equal to, we substitute 2 into x, which is 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 1. So 2 squared minus 8. 4 minus 8 minus 1, you get negative 5. Then the object that has an image of 4. So meaning say that fx equals to x squared minus 4x minus 1 equals to 4. Alright, so rearrange it, we'll get x squared minus 4x minus 1 minus 4, I will get minus 5 equals to 0. Then we factorize it. Okay, so x and x. So 5, 1. Negative 5 plus 1. So x is equal to positive 5 or x equals to negative 1. Alright, this is how you find the object that has an image of 4. This is many to one functions because x you have more than one value and then you have only one image. This 5 and negative 1 is mapped to this over here. Alright, so for those of you who have just come in, alright, so please share this live out to your friends, okay? The more you share, the more frequent I will have free class in this page, okay? So if you have any questions, you can type in the chat box, okay? I will check the chat box, right? And then, okay, one more thing. If you have any questions, you can always email your maths questions to help@mathperteducation.com. Okay, you can see it at the bottom over here. All right, the email is right at the bottom. All right, so when you email there, I will answer you, either reply your email or I'll take a video and then I post it in this page. All right. So exercise, okay. A function f is defined as this. Find all the value x. State except p, x is equal to p, and then state the value of p. So how do we find p? So p, where is p? P is over here. They are telling you x does not equal to p. Alright, so what is p? X does not equal to p. So how do we find this p? Alright, so what do you notice from here? This is a fraction, isn't it? Alright, so if this is a fractions, what do we know about fractions? What do we know about the numerator and the denominator? Alright, so for numerator, it can be 0. But what about denominator? Can denominator become 0? Okay, you can try to use your calculator. Okay, try to use your calculator to type 1 divided by 0 or 2 divided by 0. Okay, you will get math error. Okay, denominator cannot be equal to 0. So since they are telling us x does not equal to p and we need to find the value of p, I can say that 2x minus 4 equals to 0. So 2x is equal to 4. X will be equal to 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So when x equals to 2, the denominator will become 0 and the denominator cannot be 0. Therefore, P is 2. X cannot equal to 2. So P is equal to 2. So given that the value of 5 is mapped onto itself under F, find the value of K. Alright, so value of K is over here, is inside the function over here. So what does it mean by the value of 5 is mapped onto itself? Alright, it means that F5 is equal to 5. Okay, map onto itself. F bracket 5 is equal to 5. Alright, so when you substitute 5 into X, you get 3. X will be 3 multiplied 5 plus K over 2X. X will be 5 minus 4 equals to what? It will equals to 5. Alright? And then 2 multiplied 5. Okay, let's take a look at the denominator first. 2 multiplied 5, you get 10. 10 minus 4, 6. So 6 move it to another side, you get multiply 6. So 5 multiply 6, you get 30. So 3 multiply 5, you get 15. Let me erase this. Okay, 3 multiply 5, you get 15. Plus K equals to 5 multiply 6, 30. Alright, so K will be equal to 30 minus 15 equals to 15. Find another value of X that is mapped onto itself. Meaning say that Fx equals to X. Alright, since we know that the value of K is already 15 in question B1, so we can say that 3x plus 15 over 2x minus 4 is equal to X. Then we do cross multiplications. So when we do cross multiplications, you will get 3x plus 15 equals to 2x squared minus 4x. Alright? And then we rearrange it. I will get 2x squared minus 7x minus 15 equals to 0. Alright? And then you can factorize it. X. So 2x, okay, this is 2x. So plus 3 minus 5. So x can be equal to negative 3 over 2 or x equals to 5. Right? So next one. Given that this is a function, find the image of 30 degree. So how do we find the image of 30 degree? Alright, so fx equals to this. So we substitute 30 into x. So 3 sine 30 minus tangent 30. Bear in mind that this is degree. When you are using a calculator to calculate this, alright, when you are using calculator to calculate this, make sure it is in degree, not radian. If you put it in radian, you will get the wrong answer. Okay, sine 30 we get is half. Okay, 3 multiplied by 0.5 minus tangent 30 will be, alright, so this is a special angle. Alright, special angle. Okay, I know this is in Form 4 Chapter 1 only. Okay, for those of you who are Form 5, I believe that you already learned in your trigonometry. Okay, tangent 30, it should be equal to 1 over square root 3. Okay, then the answer will be function f, okay, this will be 0.9226. Alright? And then b, given that the functions gx equals to 2 cos x, find the value of x such that the function has an image of 1.6 for the domain between 90 degree and x. So how do I do this? Alright, so cos x. So let me see. Okay. So meaning, say that this is gx equals to 2 cos x. 2 cos x, you have an image of 1.6. Cos x is equal to 1.6 divided by 2, which gives you 0.8. So x will be equal to 36.87 degree. Alright, so the question is asking for in between 0 and 90. So 36.87 is between 0 and 90, and it is in the first quadrant. Okay. So what is absolute functions? Absolute value functions. It means positive will still remain as positive. If you get negative from the functions, you need to change your negative to become positive. If you get negative 1, the answer will be 1. If you get negative 100, the answer will be just 100, positive 100. Alright. So composite functions. So what is composite functions? Alright. So meaning say that we know fx, let me use the pointer. Where is my pointer? Okay, so over here, set A, set B, and set C. Alright? So we map, okay, we map x into this. Okay, f is a function that maps set A onto set B. And then g is a function that maps set B onto set C. So gf is a function that maps set A onto set C. Alright, so gf, it is not fg, it is start from the backwards first, gf. Okay, so take a look at this. Given function fx is this, gx is this, find fg bracket 3. Alright, so for this, how can we do? We find out what is fgx. So how do we find fgx? We just substitute gx, which is this, x squared minus 2 into the x over here. So it will become 2 bracket x squared minus 2 plus 1. So when you expand it, you will get 2x squared. So 2 multiply negative 2, you get negative 4. Negative 4 plus 1, negative 3. Alright, so if fg bracket 3 is equals to 2 multiply 3 square minus 3. So 3 square will be 9. 9 multiply 2, 18. 18 minus 3, 15. The next one, gf bracket negative 2. We need to find gfx. So gfx. So how do we find gfx? We substitute the fx. Okay, let me change the color of the pen. Alright, any questions so far? Okay. So over here, we use this 2x plus 1. We substitute into the x over here. So meaning say that 2x plus 1 bracket square, because x square, that's why we bracket square minus 2. So when you expand this, I will get 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 minus 2. You will get 4x squared plus 4x minus 1. Okay, so GF negative 2, you will get, you are just substituting negative 2 into x. So 4 multiply x squared. Negative 2 squared will be 4. 4 multiply 4, 16. Then 4x. 4 multiply negative 2, you get negative 8. Minus 1. So you get 8 minus 1, 7. Right? Next would be this. Fx, given that fx is equal to this, and fgx is equal to this, find gx. Alright? So, we are substituting gx into x. Meaning say that fx is 2x plus 4, isn't it? So if I substituting gx into it, it will be 2gx plus 4 equals to what? Okay, fgx is equal to this. Right? We are just substituting gx into the x inside this function. Alright? So it will get 3x minus 8. Our objective here is to find gx. So let's find gx. Okay, 2gx equals to 3x minus 8 minus 4 minus 12. So gx will be equals to 1 over 2 multiply 3x minus 12. Alright? And then this fx equals to x minus 2. Gfx is equal to this. X does not equals to 11 out of 3. Find gx. Okay, so this is quite similar with the previous question that we did. So, how do we do this? Okay, so gfx is equal to this. Alright, so gfx is equal to fx will be x minus 2, isn't it? Over here. Alright, so this will be equals to 1 over 11 minus 3 x. Okay, so now we let, okay, let me do it here. We let u equals to x minus 2, which is inside the g over here. Okay, so we say x will be equals to u plus 2. Right? Then now g bracket x minus 2 is the same as here, u. G bracket u will be equal to this. Since this is u, and we need to change all the x to become u. X, which is this, x is equal to u plus 2. So it will be 1 over 11 minus 3 u plus 2. When we expand it, I will get 1 over 11 minus 3u minus 6. In the end, you will get 1 over 11 minus 6, you get 5 minus 3u. Okay, if gu equals to 1 over 5 minus 3u, okay, gu equals to 1 over 5 minus 3u, then gx will be equal to 1 over 5 minus 3x, isn't it? So this is your answer. Okay, inverse functions. Okay, moving forward, okay, this forward part, we call it functions. What about backwards? The other way around. We call it inverse functions. Okay? A function is you map x onto y. An inverse function is denoted as f negative 1. Okay, this is called inverse functions. Inverse function is a function that map y back to x. So let's take a look at this. So exercise. So how do we find the inverse function of this? So basically, you just let inverse function x equals to y, right? And then we can say that fy, not x, fy fy equals to x, right? So fy equals to x, so meaning say that 2x, not 2x, 2y. Two y minus 1 out of y plus 2 equals to x. Okay, so now we need to make y as a subject. Then once we can make y as a subject, we can get our inverse functions. So we cross multiply, we will get 2y minus 1 equals to xy plus 2x. So rearrange, we get 2y minus xy equals to 2x plus 1, right? And then 2 minus x, we factor the y out, equals to 2x plus 1. So y will be equals to 2x plus 1 over 2 minus x. So, and we know that y is equal to inverse functions. Therefore, inverse f functions will be equal to 2x plus 1, 2 minus x. Okay, let me change the ink color. So, is there any questions? Alright, no questions. Alright, so for those of you who just came in, alright, so please share this free class to your friends. Okay, the more share, I will have more frequent class every week. Okay, so and as we know that the Ministry of Education of Malaysia has announced that next year, March, will be your SPM. So now it's June. We have roughly 8 to 9 months to prepare for your SPM. So have you started prepare your SPM? Okay. Form 4, Form 5, 2 years. So you have roughly 20 chapters. So each chapter you take roughly about maybe 1 week for your revisions. You need 20 weeks. On top of that, you still need to solve your past year questions. Alright, so it is better for you to start your revision now rather than you wait until the last minute. Wait until the end of this year. Alright, so let's continue. So you already given the inverse gx. We need to find the gx. So how do we find it? Let me clear all this. Erase all ink on slide. Okay. So we are given this. How do we find gx? Inverse gx is equal to this. Alright? So x, okay, over here, g inverse 1x is equal to 2x minus 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. All right, so how do we find this? All right, so take some time to think, how do we find this? Well, let me take a sip of water. So any idea? Let me check the chat. All right, so how do we do this? Similar with the previous one, we say that gx is equal to y. All right, and then inverse g y is equal to x. Okay, so these whole equations will be equal to inverse gy will be equal to 2y plus 1 over 2y minus 1 equals to x. Right now we need to make y the subject. So again, we do cross multiplications. We'll get 2y plus 1 equals to 2xy minus x. Right, so rearrange it. We put y on one side, the rest to another side. We'll get 2y minus 2xy equals to minus x minus 1. So we factor the y out. 2 minus 2x y equals to minus x minus 1. So y will be equal to minus x minus 1 over 2 minus 2x. So, and we know that from here, y is equal to gx. Alright, so that means gx is equal to negative x minus 1 divided by 2 minus 2x. So do you get this answer? Alright, so for those of you who just came in, okay, please share this out to your friend, and then the more share we get from this video, I will have free class more frequent every week. Okay, it is not enough time for you to, 1 week, 1 chapter. Okay, so today we will talk about these functions from for chapter 1. Okay, then for chapter 2 probably next week, depends. Okay, so and also if you have any maths questions, you can email to help at maxperteducation.com. Alright, you can find the email at the bottom of this. Alright, at the bottom of this you have the email. You can take a screenshot of your email, of your questions, you email to me. Okay, either I will reply your email, or I will make a video, or I do it on a paper, I snap a pictures and post it in this Facebook page. Okay, and also remember to like our Facebook page. Alright, when you like the Facebook page and I will have live, you will receive the notifications. Okay, so now let's continue this fx. the last questions. So fx equals to this. And we need to find out what is f square inverse. F square inverse means ff. Alright, so how do we find that? So first, we need to find out what is ff. Let me clear all this. So we need to find out what is f square means ff. Alright, so f square x will be equals to 5x. 5x, x will be 5x minus 2 minus x. So we expand it, 25x minus 10 minus 2. So you get 25x minus 12. But the question is asking for this, right? So inverse, we need to find the inverse of this. How do we find the inverse of this? Alright, again we let f square inverse is equal to y. So f square y will be equal to x. Right. So let me change the ink color. Okay. So f square y is equal to 25y minus 12 equals to x. Now we need to make y as a subject. Then we can find f square inverse f square. So 25y, not 2y, it's 25y. $25y equals to x plus 12. Y will be equal to 1 over 25 x plus 12. So therefore, f square, this one, is equal to alright, so this will be your answer for this. Alright, next, it is given that fx equals to this, gx equals to this, find g5. Alright, so this is very straightforward. So g5 will be equal to 1 minus 3 times 5, 15. You get negative 14. Okay, find the value of m if f bracket m plus 2 equals to 1 over 7 g5. Alright, so what f bracket m plus 2, meaning say that we substitute m plus 2 into the x over here. So meaning say that 2m plus 2 minus 3 equals to 1 over 7 g5, meaning say that 1 over 7 g5, g bracket 5, we got it from question A, which is negative 14. So it is negative 14. So when we expand it, we get 2m plus 4 minus 3 equals to negative 2. Right? So 4 minus 3, 1. 1, you move it another side, negative 1. So 2m equals to negative 3. M will be equal to negative 3 over 2. Alright, so let me change the ink color. Any questions? Alright, so no questions. Okay, so how about YouTube? Alright, so those of you who are from YouTube, okay, those of you who are watching from YouTube, okay, just for information, we are live streaming this in Facebook and in YouTube as well. Alright, so if you have any questions, okay, any questions regarding your app maths, okay, be it either you are IGCSE or even UEC or even SPM, okay, you can email your questions. Take a screenshot of your questions, okay, email to me. So at the Hotmail, sorry, not Hotmail, at help.maxperteducation.com, okay. The email is below here. Okay, you can see it over here. Alright, so let's continue. GFX. Okay, so we have GF, we have GX, we have FX. So GFX will be, we substitute the FX into GX. So in this case is 1 minus 3 bracket 2x minus 3. That is 1 minus 6x plus 9. Always remember, okay, this one, okay, the negative over here is always follow the number or algebra behind of it. So this is negative 3 and this is negative 3. Negative and negative, you get positive. So you get positive 9. Alright, so here you will get negative 6 plus 10. Negative 6x, okay? Negative 6x plus 10. This is your answer. So sketch the graph for this. So how do I sketch the graph for this? Alright, so GFX we already got it here, the absolute value, meaning say that we do not want negative. X, this is Y. So between, let's say this is 3, this is negative 1, this is 0. So how do we know where, at which point? Alright, so okay, so how do I sketch this? When x equals to 1, when x equals to negative 1, so negative 1 multiplies negative 6, you get 6. 6 plus 10, 16. Here. Then when x equals to 3, so 6, negative 6 times 3, you get negative 18. Negative 18 plus 10, negative 8. But this is absolute. So it is 8. Over here. Then, how do we draw this? The line should be a linear, right? All the way to the bottom, but it is reflected at certain point at x-axis. So let's find out what is the x-axis at this point. We can say that minus 6x plus 10 equals to 0. Okay, so 6x equals to 10. X will be equals to 10 over 6. Meaning say that 10 over 6 is 1 and 4 over 6, which is 2/3, 1 and 2/3. So 1 is over here, 2 is over here. 1 and 2/3 is somewhere around here. Alright, so let me use another color to draw the line. This. Draw a straight line here. So this is your graph. So state the range. So what is the range of y? Y is less than 16, more than 0. Alright, so this is the range of y from here to here. Okay, so alright, so that's all for chapter 1. Alright, so let me repeat again. If any one of you have any question regarding maths, okay, you can email to the email shown in below, help@maxperteducation.com. Okay, email, take a picture of your questions, then email to me. Okay, I will either reply your email or I will take a picture of the solutions, post it in the Facebook, or even I will short video to explain to you how do we solve that questions. Alright, so also remember to share it out with your friend. This live video, share it out with your friends. Okay, the more share, the more like, the more comment. Okay, the more share, especially the more share. Okay, the more you share, I will have more frequent free class. Okay, So for the next class, I'm not sure when do I have it, but like our page, okay? Follow our page, then you will know when is the next class. Alright, so with that being said, so I think I will end the class at here. Alright, so I'll see you next time.